try it, and they turned out great. So I want to show you how to make them. You just need a box of puff pastry. They're usually found in your refrigerated or frozen section. You need some apples. Now I'm using red apples because I want the roses to look a little red color. And then you can add whatever you want as far as the paste. So I'm using honey, but I've seen people use apricot preserves. I've seen people use strawberry, anything that's going to stick those apples to the puff pastry. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a sweeter touch to it because it is fall right now. And I'm going to sprinkle it with cinnamon sugar, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then you just need some muffin tins and a pretty sharp knife because you need to get a thin cut of those apples. Let me show you how. First and foremost, you definitely need to wash your apples. Apples do usually get sprayed with a pesticide unless they are organic. Make sure you wash them and then make sure you dry them. The worst thing you can do is cut fruits and vegetables when your hands are wet because the knife can slip. Probably I've learned that. Yeah. So you're taking a sharp knife, you're just going to cut down the sides, and then you're going to go this way. So you want to cut very small, very thin slices. Still getting that really pretty ribbing. I'm going to take the little seed parts out when I'm all done. So keep doing this, and then we're going to put it in a water bath and heat it in the microwave for 45 seconds so that the apple slices are a little limp. We don't want to cook them like apple pie, but we definitely want a limp apple. Now that I've cut all my apples really thin, I want to show you holding the sides like this. You're just going to take your knife and make a triangle like that to get any of those seeds out. Now I'm going to put this in some water and let them cook for 45 seconds in the microwave. If you don't have a microwave, just do a low boil. All right, let me show you how to do that. All right, as you can see, my apples are out of the microwave, and you can tell already that they're starting to fold here because you're going to be folding, so you want to get it so they're not going to break or snap. So I'm going to leave them in the warm water for just a little bit longer, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to roll out my puff pastry. I did want to flour the board a little bit, and you can flour your rolling pin. You can use a fondant roller also. You need to make enough strips. Now I'm using one pastry sheet. Usually the box comes in 2 puff pastries. This is just one, and I'll probably be able to get 4 or 5 apple roses out of this. Okay, just using a pizza cutter or a knife, I'm just going to make strips. And you know what? You don't have to be perfect at this because no one's going to see it. This is going to be the bottom part of our roll. Just going to go across like this. And eventually you're going to fold these over with the apples. Okay, I'm going to lay these out, get my apples ready, and we are going to show you how easy this is. As you can see, I've already made 2 of my roses. What you need to do is just to take your paste. I'm using honey. You can use a lot of different varieties. You can actually use homemade caramel sauce. I just did a video on that. It turned out delicious. So go ahead and take your apples. Make sure the red part is up on the top. If you want green roses, use green apples. If you want yellow roses, use the yellow apples. The green apples actually turn out to be a little bit of a sweeter puff pastry. So since these apples aren't as sweet as like a Granny Smith, I'm going to sprinkle some cinnamon sugar on here. Okay, and now is the time to roll our roses up. You're just basically going to roll it. Doesn't have to be really tight, you just have to make sure it's all stuck together. And then using my honey, just a little bit, I'm going to make a little bit more paste mark and tuck that up like that. Then stick it up on top. You can kind of fan it out if you want, and then stick it into your cupcake liner. All right, these are going to go into the oven at 375 degrees for 40 minutes, and then I will show you what they look like when they are all done. What a beautiful brunch or breakfast item for your holiday table. My apple roses are out of the oven. What I did was some of them had kind of turned over a little bit in the oven process. So I just took a spoon and kind of propped them up because I want them to cool down with that full rose effect. I'm going to let them cool and then I'm going to bring them up and they will be ready to serve. It only took 45 minutes in the oven and they are done. All right, let me show you the finished product.